Oh, yum.
Boing, 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 bing.
Whoppa!
To wazzy, to woozy, to
Every day we're surrounded by thousands of these sounds. Oops, ouch, and so on. They aren't words exactly, but they're definitely not random noise. After all, any speaker of a language uses these sounds in a consistent way. So what are these sounds? And what are they doing in our language? Welcome to the world of non-lexical vocalizations. Non-lexical vocalizations literally means sounds that aren't words. And although they're ubiquitous and everywhere in natural language use, they're very uncommon in writing and formal contexts. This is because people often treat these sounds as somehow poor language use or errors in speech that should be removed and avoided. But these formal prescriptions have very little to do with how people actually interact. In fact, these sounds have extremely important sociolinguistic functions, so we can't just get rid of them. Our team researches these sounds in a wide variety of contexts so that we can understand how they're naturally used. We work with amazing volunteers who record hours and hours of their everyday activities for us. We use those recordings in our research. We look through them for hundreds and hundreds of examples of non-lexical vocalizations, which we then analyze microsecond by microsecond. We're looking for clues as to how they attend to and make sense of the non-lexicals in interaction so that we can understand their function. Some of our initial findings are showing that non-lexicals actually do many jobs that traditional words can't do, or can't do as flexibly or as well.
For example, non-lexicals are much better if you want to create an image with your voice, such as mimicking a sound from the environment as closely as possible. If we take the example with animal sounds, you can say them, such as a cat's meow, but you can also imitate them more closely using a non-lexical, such as meow. And this helps the people that you're talking to imagine things more vividly, which might be one of the reasons that we see these non-lexicals in vocal depictions of how something should look like or, for instance, move.
Non-lexicals are also really good for displaying something as being genuine. The best compliment that you can give a food is to say, the moment that the food goes into your mouth and you taste it. It's even more convincing than saying that you like it or that it tastes nice. Our initial research has shown that parents will use this even when they're feeding their young infants their first tastes of solid food.
Yum, yum, yum.
That the parents will utter the non-lexical at precisely the second that the infant's mouth closes around a piece of food. A similar thing happens when we look at non-lexicals that portray food as being not so nice or even disgusting. So the and the yuck, combined with certain facial expressions, can present the speaker's reaction as being much more genuine and authentic than if they'd simply said, I don't like it.
Non-lexicals frequently co-occur with physical experiences like taste sensations or fatigue, but they can also co-occur with gestures and body motions. Because non-lexicals are really easily adapted to be longer or shorter or repeated, they're very good at highlighting qualities of motion like speed or size.
Timing sound with emotion is also helpful for coordinating people together, as is often necessary in instruction. This seems to be particularly helpful in learning to dance and doing a Pilates class, for example. The instructor might then say things like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or they might say things like jigiji ah, gida e ah, jigiji ah, gida e ah. They might also say things like wapu, zuppa, or whoa. All of those things express something about both the shape of the movement and its timing.
These are just a few of the things that we can do with non-lexical vocalizations. They're a diverse set of tools, and we can creatively modify them anytime we want, on the spot, in interaction. Although we don't know a lot yet about non-lexicals, our research team and linguists around the world are trying to change that. When we know more about them, we'll be better able to integrate non-lexical vocalizations into our understanding of language. And that will allow us to improve things like language teaching and communication workplace training, and even interaction with robots and artificial intelligence.
Social robots who interact with humans may need to be especially good at using non-lexicals. Non-lexicals can be used in these robots to make them communicate cross-culturally and much more quickly than through talk. In one of our studies, we used the Cosmo toy robot, which is a robot that is inspired by WALL-E. We found that sounds that displayed Cosmo as happy helped participants to understand that a collaborative task with the robot had been successfully completed. In contrast, when Cosmo uses a sad sound, participants are much more likely to repeat the action that they just did, trying to repair what went wrong with the robot. Non-lexicals can also be helpful for autonomous vehicles. Autonomous vehicles need to coordinate with cyclists, pedestrians, and other traffic participants. This can be difficult when they, for example, can't adjust the trajectory very well. And in that case, we're looking into how non-lexicals could help to communicate to the surrounding people to make it easier to coordinate traffic.
Be sure to check out our website where you can find out more about our research and you can see all of our articles linked. They are all open access and we are also always open for questions, so feel free to contact us. Also, we'd love to hear about your favorite or perhaps weirdest or most confusing non-lexicals that you've heard because we always like to find out about more.